Steven, I think they're ready for us. You ready?
Let's go.
All right, let's get it. So welcome everyone to another episode of We Got Next. We appreciate you all, as always, listening to everything. Today is a big day in, I would say, the Bitcoin world, 1000%. We'll get into that in a second. My name is Christian Hayes, aka AO Shifty. I'm with my boy Steven, aka Steven_Springs on Twitter. So make sure to end up following us there and also follow the Twitter for We Got Next, so WGN Podcast. You can find it there, even though there's people out there that say we might get attacked and all this stuff. We're not believing that right now. But
what's honestly the worst thing that can happen to us? Yeah, I mean, honestly, like they just tell us to switch the name. Yeah, they tell us to yeah. They tell us to switch the name. Okay, cool.
Yeah, there's so many things you can do with it. Like it's WGN, you can just make WGN. There's so many things. So I'm just like, all right, pump the brakes. I don't think they're going to try and focus on us. Maybe you were hindering on what they do, but that's not the case. But before we get into anything, what you got to drink today?
I'm going with, you had it last week. I'm going with the Blue Moon. I got the Blue Moon Mango Wheat. I think this is better than the basic Blue Moon.
Yeah.
It already has the citrusy flavor in there. I got some of the Cape May beer up in the fridge, but went with something a little soft tonight. Yeah, it was a little Blue Moon. Keep it going.
Okay, so I got something probably softer than Steven's. I just poured up a little Yellowtail. Nothing amazing.
Okay. All right. Then.
I was like, all right, let me find something for today. Let me just go.
Yellowtail. Oh gosh, dude.
I had options. I could have gone with like Mississippi liquor or like Jameson or Redbreast, but I was like, all right, whatever. Let's just go with this for today.
Dude, I cannot do any sort of liquor anymore.
It's so much tougher.
So I was at a wedding this past weekend, and we were about to do some shots at the bar of tequila, and I don't do tequila anymore. And the bartender there's three of us. He poured the first two shots for my boys, and he got to me, and then he went to pour it, and it was out. It was empty. And then my boys were looking the other way. And he went to get some more, and it was so loud because of the music and everything. And I just like reached over, I tapped, and I was like, no, we're good, bro. I'll just pretend. And it wasn't like it wasn't like a clear shot glass. It was a cup. So I got away with that one. It was like that. There was like the smallest drop of tequila in there, but I was like, no, we're good, bro. Like I don't need that. I'll stick with the Coronas. Yeah, I can't
start to do a lot of the time. Like when I go out, I'm like, I can just sip on this. Like I don't got to worry about that because I'm a Long Island person. So if it's not straight the way I want it, it's a waste of money. Whereas you know what you're gonna get with the Heineken, the Corona, the Bud Light, whatever. They're not gonna mess that up unless they just didn't put it in the freezer or something like that. Mm-hmm. So, but I want to end up bringing up quick slants. So what you got for us this week?
All right. So I'll say this now, and I'll say it again when I put it out on Twitter and when I send it to everybody. So I usually record it either the Thursday afternoon or Wednesday, depending on how my day is going to turn out with work and kids and everything. So the big thing is Penn State's quarterback, Sean Clifford. No one has any idea if he's going to play on Saturday against Illinois. He's injured. No one knows what that means. And Penn State fans know this. And if you're new to Penn State football, their head coach, James Franklin, literally says nothing about injuries unless it's season ending, which I get. And at this point, this being his 8th year, I'm kind of just used to it by now, him not announcing anything. But when it's your starting quarterback and you're 5-1, and we have a big stretch of games coming up with Ohio State and Michigan, and we're seventh in the country right now. So it's vital that we know how our starting quarterback is, right? Mm-hmm. So our backup, your boy Taquan Roberson is set to play on Saturday. But there was a video that came out today during Wednesday's practice of Sean Clifford taking snaps, fully padded, everything, helmet on, looked, full speed and whatnot. So what does that mean? No one knows. No one has any idea. And we play Illinois, like I said. Illinois is dog shit. So we shouldn't need him. We should be able just to play with whoever wants to play the quarterback. Pick some guy out of the stands. It doesn't matter. Illinois is not that good. So It might just be, they're practicing with him just to keep him going and not to get him rusty or anything and hold him out until we play Ohio State in 2 weeks. So I say all that to say I recorded today's episode before the video came out of him at practice. So I'm going to put the video out just to preface by saying everything that I say in there is with the notion that we don't know what's going on and that we haven't seen him at practice or anything this week. So I want to say that, but yeah, Illinois this weekend, noon, ABC. Had the bye week last week. It was great. I went to a wedding. Like I said, it was awesome. Clear your head a little bit. Take a deep breath. Midway through the season, let's go. Now's when the fun starts. And Penn State, the last 4 seasons or last 3 seasons, excluding last year because last year was whatever. Every time we've lost a game, we've lost the weekend after. Lost to Ohio State and Michigan State. Back-to-back, 2017, 2018, 2019 lost to Minnesota, and then lost to Ohio State. So we have Illinois. Like I said,
so you're going to lose to Illinois.
If we do, I'm not coming on the show next week. I'm not doing the quick slants next week. I'm done. I'm taking another week off. I'm taking another bye week. If we lose to Illinois, dude, then we have problems. Major problems. So, yeah, we'll put out tomorrow, standard time, 8 o'clock. Like you said, Twitter at Steven_Springs. Go find it and then give it a listen, give it the feedback, all that kind of good stuff. But it'll be out tomorrow, 8 o'clock.
So with that, I'm gonna do a throwback because Steven and I haven't done this in a minute, but we're gonna go into the fast break. So
okay, all right.
I don't know if you've seen this or not.
Oh man.
But this was on the highway.
Bro.
Road.
Yo, where is this?
Oh, this is in New York.
Oh shit, bro.
I saw Manhattan.
Oh, okay. Speaking of New York, I'll tell you this after the video. Bro, he's going
faster
60,
than the car.
Bro, he's going like 60 miles an hour easily. I mean, he's a pro.
Yes.
I mean, he knows. Like, yeah.
To be a motor on there or something.
Look at that thing. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's impressive. I mean, with gas prices the way they are, I don't blame my guy.
Thing.
Yeah, of course.
So for everyone out there in the DMV area, gas is over $3. Not one of those like a little bit over $3. It's over.
It's a lot. It's a lot over $3.
Yeah, because I know so I'm in Silver Spring. I don't ever get gas in Silver Spring, but it's $3.70 on one corner. If you go down like 2 blocks, it becomes $3.39, aka different cities and stuff like that. Don't ask me. But I just go into Virginia, right near my job, and it's $3.25. So it's a little better. But when you calculate that $3.76 compared to that $3.25, that's 50-cent difference.
That adds up. That adds up quick, bro. Let me tell you real quick. Speaking of Manhattan, so when I came home from my wedding, I was up in New York. It was on Long Island. Not my wedding, but my buddy's wedding. When I went up there, it didn't take me through the city. I got off before and went around, and it was good. I don't hate New York, but I don't like going there because it's just way too many people for me. And driving there is driving through the city of New York is the last thing that I want to do. Right. So I left on a Saturday morning. The wedding was on a Friday. I left on Saturday. The GPS, when I put my address in, it was taking me through the city. And I'm like, all right, maybe I put the address in wrong, or maybe I'm going somewhere else. It took me through Manhattan. Luckily, it was a Saturday morning, so there's no rush hour traffic or anything. But bro, I can't even begin to tell you how pissed I was.
Yeah.
When I hit those tunnels and I come out on the other side and boom, there's building, skyscrapers, people left and right.
Yes.
No one giving a fuck about anything that's going on in the world. They don't care if you're driving. They don't care what you're driving. They don't care how slow or fast or whatever. I don't consider myself a religious person by any stretch, but when I got out of there, bro, I almost had to pull over and just say thank you, God, for getting me through that.
Yeah,
awful.
It's one of those. My dad lives in Connecticut. We all used to live in New York. So driving through to get to Connecticut, you got to go over the Hudson Bridge and all that. I hate it. If you make one wrong turn,
you're done. You're done. You're done, bro.
It's but you can make it back up. New York, you're done.
You
might be in another borough in 2 seconds.
Yep.
Why am I looking at the Met Stadium when I should be going the other way?
And your ETA goes from you'll be there in 10 minutes to you'll be there in 45 minutes.
Yes, real really fast.
Dude, instead of going left and you go right, you're done, bro. Done. Done. I've never. It's like it's impossible to navigate that if you're from out of state. It's impossible.
Hell yeah. So speaking of out of state, because we're gonna get into these prices that are out of state for a lot of the people, and I started getting a lot of texts today, which is so crazy. So shout out goes out to Bitcoin. It shows that it's at 65,655, but earlier in the day, as of this recording, it's October 20th. But early in the day, it hit a new all-time high and then went into price discovery of $67,000. So you all can see the market cap of Bitcoin is currently at $1.23 trillion, not millions, not billions, but trillion. So this is more than all the different financial bankings that are out there in the world, even combined, like the top three. It's more than that. And the big part about this is a lot of people did doubt Bitcoin. So I have to say congratulations to everyone that has held Bitcoin throughout this time. As you can also see, and I mentioned this to a lot of people, Bitcoin will be the front runner, but there's a lot of people that don't have the money to afford a Bitcoin or half a Bitcoin. So they'll get into the others. What's next? Ethereum. And Ethereum is sitting at a market cap of over $490 billion, which is huge. That's more than all y'all's little retail companies out there, except like Amazon, Facebook, and stuff. And then you have Binance Coin that's up there as well. So congratulations to them. Then Cardano's sitting up there. Tether is at 99 cents. As you all know, Tether will go in between 99 cents to like $1.01. Reason that the stable coin fluctuates so much is because you have to always try and peg it 1-to-1. But then if there's a lot of selling within the USDT, the value of it will drop a smidge. And so that's why it's 0.99999. Sometimes it'll say 0.00007 or something like that. So that's all it is. And I mentioned that it was sitting at 3 and 4, but as Bitcoin starts to rise, people start putting their money into alts and Bitcoin. So under that, you have Solana, then you have Ripple, then you have Polkadot, and then you have Dogecoin, and then USD coin. So that's what I wanted to talk about with the top 10. Moving into the crypto news, I also want to end up giving a shout out and a big congrats to Luxo. So they ended up getting listed on another exchange. As you all know, that I'm a big fan of Luxo and the community and all that they're doing over there. So they got listed on Gate.io, which is a big thing for them. There has been a small price increase as well that a lot of people can notice. Bitcoin did have, not Bitcoin itself, but companies ended up creating Bitcoin future ETFs. So a big thing, a lot of people are very hyped and excited for the Bitcoin future ETFs. There's a huge difference between a Bitcoin future and then a spot account Bitcoin ETF. There are numerous ones that are out there that have filed for an ETF on the stock market exchange. But what a Bitcoin futures is, it's kind of like a contract, and you're trying to predict and like guess the direction that you believe that Bitcoin will be in the future, hence in the name future. Whereas spot account is, let's say that Shift Movement ended up being listed on the stock exchange and you gave us money. So you end up buying a share of the Bitcoin ETF. So if you put $300 into it, then the ETF, which is owned by Shift Movement or any of these other companies, they are going to be the ones buying and selling Bitcoin. And it's a safer thing for people out there because a lot of times people don't understand the technology. They don't know if they're going to lose it or not. So you're kind of giving it to the middleman, and the middleman will end up buying for you. So they're buying and selling most of the time that way. That's the one a lot of people do want because tons, thousands, millions, billions of dollars are going to go into a spot account ETF. But I'm very excited for the two ETFs, the Bitcoin futures that have been listed. The first one that got listed is ticker symbol BITO. They were the biggest launch in 2021. They also hit trading volume over $1 billion, which was a big thing in the first day. Another thing I want to bring up is Coinbase. So Steven probably heard about this, but the NBA, WNBA, G League, and NBA 2K agreed to a partnership to make Coinbase the official cryptocurrency partner of all of those leagues. And it's a huge thing because you start to see even what like FTX was doing, and that kind of like folded cards right there when FTX ended up becoming the naming rights to the FTX Arena, which used to be like American Airlines Arena down there in Miami. And it was just a first stepping stone. You also see crypto.com with the patches and MLB. Then you also see what FTX did with the Cal Berkeley Stadium. out there. So it was something that was going to come, just seeing it being Coinbase, which is one of the biggest ones that are out there and very extremely notable in America. A lot of people end up wanting to end up trusting Coinbase. Their fees are high, so get the hell off of them. But it's a very good start for anyone that's trying to get into cryptocurrency. In addition to that, Coinbase has partnered with Facebook, and they will be the custodial company of Facebook as Facebook continues to try to create their own cryptocurrency wallet. And if you all have been paying attention to the news, Mark Zuckerberg is trying to figure out a way if he wants to change the name of Facebook to a cryptocurrency name, and he wants to get more into the metaverse. So the metaverse is going to be a big thing. I personally do believe that Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook team will get into the metaverse. Reason being, you hear a lot about Oculus. Oculus is the virtual reality. So it's a quick, simple step that they're already there. It's just a matter of going about it the right way and keeping the privacy of all your different customers that you have. That's always been the big thing about Mark Zuckerberg. I don't necessarily like him as a person because of what he's done. That's kind of like me stealing an idea that Steven had and me running with it and making millions and billions off of it. And then Steven that ended up creating the idea, he's not really getting that much. That's why I don't like Zuckerberg. But the products that they are making are pretty damn good. So I do have to say congratulations to Facebook trying to find different ways. At first, they were trying to create the Libra token. Wasn't working out that way. So they end up going this route. On top of that, y'all thought I was done with Coinbase, but Coinbase has officially said that they are creating an NFT platform. So that's something else that Coinbase is doing that I'm very happy for. And some other news that I wanted to just let everyone out there know about is studies and surveys were put out that 11.4% of all adults around the world own some sort of cryptocurrency. And that's a huge start, especially if you look at the amount of money that is out there in the world. Another topic I wanted to just let everyone know about is Paul Tudor Jones, which is a very famous hedge fund manager. He has been on record saying that Bitcoin is a better store of value, and he prefers that over gold. So just a lot of people out there that always believed in gold and thought that it was the gold standard, that's the legacy way. It's very different now because a lot of people are starting to believe in Bitcoin. And then going into that, congratulations and shout out goes out to Unizen. So ZCX, they officially launched their DMAS staking. So it stands for dual multi-asset staking. And that was just something else that's big. A lot of people are frustrated out there with what Unizen has been doing just because the Ethereum gas fees are so high. So it costs so much to end up staking your tokens. It'll be worth it. Remember, everyone out there, it is a test net. So because it is a test net, it's still working out the kinks and stuff. It's not their main net. You guys are all hyped thinking the test net was going to be the main net. They tried to give you all something at least to end up helping you out. So just be patient. They're going to work on other layers, and then they're going to work with other blockchains to mitigate these high fees. But I think it's something that everyone should look into. So that's the cryptocurrency news for today. I didn't want to make it a super long day. The big thing was Bitcoin being worth 67,000 at one point today, and then make sure you all pay attention to Ethereum because the money's going to start trickling down into other places and other cryptocurrencies. But two topics I wanted to bring up before we get into the deep sports. What are your thoughts on Stephen A. Smith? I know that was a super random transition, but it's just been on my mind.
What are your thoughts? I want to collect mine before I spew out something.
So I'm gonna preface this for everyone
listening, which is rare because I don't usually do that. I usually just
you always
say whatever is on my mind. But this is,
so I'll preface this by saying I didn't find out fully.
Ooh, with the Christian with the neck crack. Real quick. All right, let's go, dude.
Fully hear about the whole Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman story myself. I don't necessarily watch First Take as much as I used to back in the day, but my mom does. So my mom has ESPN on all the time. Like we'll text a lot. We'll end up like communicating about different things. And I was over there because I try to visit her on Fridays if I can. And she was like, "You heard about the whole Stephen A. Smith, like how he didn't want Max Kellerman on there." I was like, "No, like it was that serious." So we listened to the videos. Like Stephen A.'s on record saying, "Yes, I did not want him on there. I felt as though views and reviews and ratings weren't the same and we needed to change it up." And then you see just how he talks to all the different people now that come on there and just how he can say anything because he's worth so much. And I'm like, damn, like, can you at least treat people right? And they always say, if the same thing keeps happening, you have to look for the common denominator every single time. And there's one person that is the common denominator every time. Skip left, and he's out there with Old Country, and they just living their lives, aka Shannon Sharp. And then you have Max Kellerman, who was doing great before First Take. He wasn't necessarily as well known, but I'm like, damn, Stephen A. Like, you made Max Kellerman have all these other goddamn jobs, and just so they can find another role for him. And Stephen A. just keeps ousting people because certain people are attracted to just hearing him talk and like hearing, oh, what's the new take for Stephen A. And I guess I got past that point of liking it as much because everyone else, like Stephen and I brought up, everyone else just tries to copy him at times or copy like the First Take way. And I'm like, no, create your own thing, because you don't realize how Stephen A. is starting to be. Like, that money can sometimes get to you. And what he's saying about Kyrie and stuff, like, you have to relax, because some of these players don't give a damn about you anymore, and they do not like you. So that's my big thing with that.
All right. So first of all, if you know Stephen A's background, you know his history, he's put the work in. Yes. You know, he's been around doing this journalism thing for a very long time. And as someone who was a journalism major, I respect the hell out of that grind, because that's what it is. It's a grind to get to that point, to get to, you know, having your own thing at ESPN, or just making it to ESPN, or making it to whatever you're going to be doing, whatever Fox Sports, writing for whoever. It's a grind. It's tough. So I respect the hell out of what he did, but he is, he just says it, and Skip Bayless is the same way. I've just kind of, put it in my head that these dudes don't believe anything that they're saying.
I don't think so.
And they're just saying this shit because they're getting paid like millions of dollars.
Yeah.
I think Skip is around $5 million a year.
Yeah.
Like, think about that. You're getting paid $5 million to say whatever the fuck you want to say. Yeah. Whether you believe it or not, no one's fact checking you. No. Unless it's something like that is literally a fact. You know, but this isn't politics. So like, sports facts are like, they're there, and like it's hard to mess that up. So but I've just kind of come to terms with it that these dudes just say whatever's on their mind. And Stephen A. Smith just says outlandish things that like don't make any sense. And I get it. Like, the other thing is like, yo, Stephen A., not everybody is your homie. Not everybody is your boy. Not everybody is your best friend. Not everybody is someone that you talk to every single day. I know you have connects. I know you have sources. I know you know people. That's cool, man. Like, that's cool. But like, you don't know everybody.
Yeah.
And there was a stretch where like literally every single person that they were talking about, basketball, football, golf, hockey, it could be cricket. He was like, I know this guy. I know this because he's my brother. Like, yep. I talk to him on a daily basis. I talked to him about an hour ago, or FaceTime. No, bro, no, you don't. Like, no. So, I mean, he just says outlandish things. He just says ridiculous things. And the stuff about Max Kellerman, I get it. Like, ratings are what drive it. Like, if you don't have good ratings, it doesn't matter who you are, they're gonna find different ways to make it better, or they're gonna kick it off, or they're gonna do whatever they gotta do. It's ESPN, they're $1 billion industry. I know that they've taken a hit over the last decade. They've lost a lot of fans, but it's ESPN. They're not going away.
They're gonna be fine.
Like, it's a Disney product. They're not going away anytime soon. It doesn't matter what they say. Basketball is on ESPN right now, and hockey is back on ESPN. That's huge. ESPN's not going anywhere. But people like Stephen A., as big as his name is, he's replaceable. Mm-hmm. You can just get the next young guy to come up, or next young girl to come up, and you can just put them on there, and people will watch. Why? Because they're going to say the same shit Stephen A. Smith is saying. So it's gotten to the point where like I don't listen. I follow him on Twitter because I follow those type of people on Twitter because I'm always just like waiting for them just to say dumb shit, and they do it all the time. So Yeah, I don't believe anything that he says, and I don't think he believes anything he says. So that's kind of where I'm at. And now he's part of the new NBA countdown crew on ESPN. I'm not watching a damn minute of that shit. No thanks. Although I will say that Mike Greenberg, I haven't watched it yet, but he's got to be a whole hell of a lot better than Sage Steele was a handful of years ago. So
Yeah.
we'll just leave it at that. But Stephen A.
So much
Smith
has changed. Because I
Yeah.
remember when Mike and Mike had the show, Mike Greenberg doing new things.
Yeah. I mean, like, I haven't watched Sports Center. I watch ESPN for like football reasons, basketball, baseball, whatever. Like, I just watch sports on ESPN. The only program that I'll watch on ESPN is College Game Day.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't watch anything else. Like, I'll watch like college football final on Saturday nights, but like, that's it. Like, I don't watch anything in the morning, mainly because I have work. Like, it's not on in my house ever. I can't tell you the last time I watched Sports Center, and it's just not the same as it was. I mean, we're almost 30.
Yeah.
It's not the same as it was 15, 20 years ago.
No.
When we would like stay up until 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock on a school night and catch the late Sports Center and watch the highlights. And it was fun back then. Politics weren't a thing. Like, it wasn't like no one gave a shit about your opinions, or like no one gave a shit if you were politically correct, or like if you were like spontaneous with the things you said. Like, everyone's got to be careful with what they say. And people like Stephen A. Smith just say whatever they want to say because they've built such a reputation of just saying outlandish things all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I respect this grind. Like I said, I respect the hustle. It's tough. I know how it is, but I can do without Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah. So next thing we'll touch on, just for any baseball fans that are out there. So the NLCS and ALCS are going on out there. We'll start with the ALCS because that's what the Yankees are. But the Astros kind of got that shit. The Astros just beat the Red Sox tonight.
3-2, right?
9-1.
It's 3-2?
Yeah, it's 3-2. Because I think the next one, wherever the next one is, the Astros are just different. Because I was talking to my mom about this. So, fun fact, my mom's the one person I'll talk to like about sports. If I'm not talking to Steven, I'm talking to my mom about sports because she's from New York as well. Yeah, so she grew up on like the Knicks, saw all of them, big Yankees person. She don't got a football team, no matter what she says. Whoever wins the Super Bowl has their football team. But she remembered when the Astros like had all their cheating scandals and stuff like that. And she was like, hold up. So they had their cheating scandals and then they're still winning. And I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah.
What are you going to do, right?
It don't matter. So they're up on the NLCS. The Braves are up. So I'm happy for the Atlanta area. I'm pretty sure there's a lot more Atlanta baseball fans now because they were all on like Ice Train, like the NBA and stuff like that. But so they're looking like they're going to win as of this recording. Atlanta Braves are up 4-0 in the bottom of the third to the Dodgers. And what's crazy about that is they got Max Scherzer right before the playoffs ended up starting during the summer. And so they believe that a lot of their pitchers and a lot of the people that they upgraded will help them out. And the Braves are like, all right, we got these young guns and we're going to end up taking it over. So
hey, they're up. They were up 5-2 last night against the Dodgers.
Yeah.
And the homie Cody Bellinger.
Yeah, he did it.
Bro, smacked that shit.
Yeah.
And yes, he's a beast. I want the Dodgers to win. I don't know why. I just want to root for the Dodgers for some reason. I know that they're like the team to hate right now because they're turning into the Yankees and they're just giving everybody the money to win. But like,
Mm-hmm. So next thing, because normally we finish the show with the NFL, but because the NBA has been the big thing, we're going to go into the NFL. So moving into a lot of things. First thing I want to bring up is the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Seattle Seahawks from last week. And I don't really know or understand how that game happened the way it did. That one game, and then also the Jaguars and the Dolphins. I don't know which game made me more mad because the Jaguars and the Dolphins seemed like nobody wanted to win the goddamn game. Like the Jaguars wanted to lose. Like everything in them were like, you don't even really want to win.
Nope.
And the Seahawks, I really thought Geno had it. Like he was taking them down the field a couple of times, but then TJ Watt.
Let's go. TJ Watt, baby.
No.
Let's go. My guy. So, I'm glad I picked him,
Yeah. So
yeah. I'm still doing it. Like I'm still going to do it.
Yeah. Before we get into the NFL, There are rumors that are saying Deshaun Watson will probably get traded to Miami Dolphins.
Okay. Hang on a second. Now, wait a damn minute, right? You're telling me, okay, as the Miami Dolphins, I'm speaking to the Miami Dolphins right now. You're telling me that you would rather bring in someone who has, I checked the stats, 22 sexual assault allegations against him. None of them, I don't believe, you can correct me if I'm wrong, none of them have been confirmed or anything, in the court of law or anything. So they're just like, it's just there. But 22, there was one point, dude, where you and I were texting every day. Yeah. Every single day, I would text you or you would text me and be like, hey, it's 10. Hey, it's 13. Hey, it's 17. And, luckily, we stopped after 22. But, that's a lot. So you're telling me you'd rather bring in, I know Deshaun Watson is a great quarterback, right? When he was doing his thing, he's one of the best in the league, right? But Tua is not bad. It's not like they have, Joe Schmo as the quarterback. Tua's he's not, he's probably a top 20 quarterback, maybe when he's on. They just don't have a great team, which the Dolphins haven't had a great team in a while. But you'd rather bring in Deshaun Watson to an organization that doesn't have a really good recent track record, a really good recent history of production on the field. You'd rather bring in him and build around him with everything going on with him than build around the guy. Right. And then build around the guy that you drafted top 10 overall.
Yeah.
What? Either they know something that we don't know and that all these allegations are going to go away, or that's going to be my first thought. If he goes to the Dolphins, my first thought is going to be, okay, then these allegations are going to go away and he's going to play. Because why would you trade for him if he's obviously not going to play?
Yeah. So big thing with that is trade deadline is November 2nd. That's why a lot more talk has been happening about the Dolphins trading for Deshaun Watson. At one point, they were saying the Eagles were going to do it, but the Eagles were like, no, there's too much shit going on. Let's not actually get ourselves into that. And they can just draft. So Carson wants to stay healthy. We love this right now.
Yeah.
But I saw a lot of people starting to talk about it, and you have to know something. You almost have to know either it's going to go away or you're just that dumb that you're going to trade 2-3 first-round draft picks and be like, damn, he got suspended. We did not think this was going to happen. And then you're wasting it.
I guess it depends on who and what they trade. If they trade draft picks, if they trade a second round and third round draft pick, kind of is what it is. Mm-hmm. But what are you going to do? Trade Tua and a first round draft pick for a guy who may or may not play? You obviously have to know, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to know that he's going to play, or if you trade him, he's going to get suspended eventually for 2 games or 3 games, whatever, and he'll play this season. But you have to know that he's going to play at some point this season, not next year, but this year.
Yeah.
Right. You would think that, right?
That. Yeah. You almost have to, because they have, so the wide receiver core is pretty good. I don't know about the running backs. They just got to run it back by committee. One day, Miles.
My guy, Mike Gesicki. Let's go.
He was doing good.
My guy, let's go.
And the way he plays, so I don't know if you guys have ever watched Mike Gesicki play. In football, you'll have a lot of the tough boys on defense that talk shit, try and pull you and stuff like that. Mike Gesicki, when he was in London, was not about that shit. He kind of just got up and was
trying to hurdle everybody. He tried to jump over everybody.
That's what happened, because he leaped in the air and his foot went into the guy. And
it wasn't even close.
Yeah, we're gonna throw you down. That's not happening. But we'll go into the games for this week. So Denver and the Browns.
Case Keenum starting for the Browns. I am
Baker's
going
not
with,
playing.
No.
That whole team is really interesting.
Oh, you bored the breaking news story.
That's
okay.
News. Yeah.
See, journalism major at its finest.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with where's that game at?
Cleveland.
I'm gonna go with the Browns.
So I had the Browns. I was shocked for a second, but then I remembered who's on the other side.
I'm Broncos. Yeah.
Really?
Broncos. Yeah.
So I'm still Browns.
The Browns defense hasn't been that good.
It hasn't been what I thought it was going to be. And the big reason what that is, I still trust Case Keenum because what he did in Minnesota was decent. It wasn't bad. Yeah, shout out to Minnesota. And so I'm still going to go with the Browns on that one. Next game is the football team and the Packers.
Packers, easy.
So that's an easy one. Yeah, it doesn't really matter if this is Aaron Rodgers' last game, first game, whatever it's going to be. As long as Aaron Rodgers is on the Packers, it's going to be the Packers. Chiefs Titans.
Ooh, okay. So
it's not as easy,
bro.
Henry is a beast.
I texted you and I said, imagine having to try and tackle Derrick Henry in the box. That like my guy is 6'4", 245 and runs a 4.4. He's just like he's different though. Like he's different right now. I mean, yes. I was looking at the stats and he rushed for 2,000 yards last year in 16 games, and he's like 120 yards ahead of where he was and 4 touchdowns. But he's on pace for like 460 carries, which is a lot.
Yeah.
So they better make the most out of what they got because he's about to last another 2 seasons.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Titans because my guy is you just can't stop him. Like it's hard.
I thought it was gonna be a surprise pick because I was gonna go with the Titans too.
Yeah.
And I'm going with the Titans because it does not matter the defense you put up against Derrick Henry. It doesn't. It doesn't. And so I'll just let everyone know. So we have a fantasy league that we're in, and Tiana has Derrick Henry. And I texted her today saying, I'm not really scared of a lot of teams in fantasy, but you don't know what you're going to ever get from Derrick Henry. This man can get 60 to 70 points if he wants to on his own. Yep. And he got 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
Like he gets it like it's nothing. He's getting over 100 yards like it's nothing. And he's getting that pace early in the game.
He's also averaging 7 yards a carry.
Yeah.
Which is maybe that was Monday night. He averaged 7 yards a carry. But I think let me look that up. Keep going.
Yeah, and the crazy part about just Derrick Henry and themselves, they have so many weapons over there. They have Julio on one side, AJ Brown on another. Yeah, they're on and off injured. It doesn't really matter who you have.
No, I was wrong. Henry. He's averaging almost 5 yards a carry. He was averaging 7.1 yards a carry on Monday night. He's averaging 130 yards a game.
Yeah. And we've only been like 6 games in the season or so.
He's got 11 more to go.
Yes. And you're on that pace. So I got to tell you, the Chiefs defense is not that good right now. They do have a lot of injuries that are happening back there, but it doesn't really matter what defense you have. I don't think there's any defense that's going to. The one that came the closest was the Cardinals. If you saw how many yards he had in the beginning, that was like the closest. Other than that, it kind of just is Derrick Henry's way. And they're going to keep feeding him the ball. He's going to be in there, and he's doing better with catching. So for him to be like a pass catcher at times.
Speaking of catching, did you see Julio's catch on the sideline?
Yeah.
Yo,
he's good. It bounced off the helmet, and he still caught it.
I think he left with a hamstring injury. That's why he wasn't in the game towards the end. Yeah, and then what's his name? AJ Brown. Yeah. AJ Brown, right? Injured. Is that his name?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What? I don't know why I was thinking of something else. I don't know what I was thinking on that one. He had food poisoning apparently from Chipotle. So I mean, he said he's done with fast food for the rest of the season or ever again.
Yeah,
I mean,
probably
understandable. Well, you're a top tier athlete. I'm gonna keep diving right into that shit.
I know.
I don't care. Food poisoning or not, bro. Food poisoning or not. I'm good.
So the next game, which is another kind of tough one, even though it's a losing franchise, is the Falcons and the Dolphins.
I'm gonna go with the Dolphins, but like I have no confidence in saying that.
So I'm going with the Falcons. I feel as though they finally found Kyle Pitts. I don't know if it was a London thing.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But I don't know. Matt Ryan might feed him. Cordero Patterson. This is a new Cordero Patterson. This is not the Cordero Patterson y'all saw before. It's a different breed here, but it's in a losing team. So they're more so, I think he's going to be doing it to see if he can get a new contract or something somewhere. So that's kind of like the big thing with him. Next one we have is Jets Patriots.
Pats.
So I have the Patriots in that one. You don't really know which Patriots team you're going to get, though, because they did pretty good against the Cowboys. But then they'll shit the bed against like other teams.
Well, the Jets suck, dude. So
They really do.
the Jets are terrible.
They really are. I don't even
Yeah.
really know what you do in the draft. Next game, Panthers Giants. Saquon, please retire. They're saying he
Yeah.
might play this week. Just don't. Just
Yeah, please
please.
don't, dude. Just please don't. I'm going with the Panthers.
So I have the Panthers as well. Sterling Shepard, for anyone out there that's looking for a wide receiver, he's been not doing too bad. Kenny Galladay, you're not living up to the money. Kadarius Toney, one
Hurt.
week he's punching someone, another week he's hurt. But I think if he can keep his head on, he'll be a very good wide receiver there, and Galladay might not even need to be there going forward. So that's something to pay attention to. That's a Florida boy right there. Next one, Bengals Ravens, and thank you to the person that bought my tickets today for the Bengals game. So who you got?
Man, I'm gonna go with the Ravens.
Mhm.
They're they kind of just got it going on right now. Lamar Jackson's still doing his thing, and the league hasn't figured him out yet, which is obvious. But
That
I do
connection on
like,
the other side.
yeah. Ravens defense looked awesome against the Chargers. I credit some of those type of things to West Coast going to East Coast.
Yeah.
So I don't want to discredit what they did because it was still got to do it. So it was still impressive. But I'm gonna go with the Ravens, but closer than the experts think.
Yeah, Ravens top of the AFC North. Pay attention to the connection that those two are having, the quarterback, tight end, and Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews. Because if they can get one of the running back, I don't really know who you want. They have so many running backs that come to that system. If you can get a solid running back to go with Lamar Jackson, and you just get one wide receiver that can be hot all the time, I don't really want to talk about the Hollywood Brown like Bart Scott thing because that was just another dumb stuff. But
it is what it is.
Going into the next one, Eagles Raiders.
I'm gonna go with the Raiders.
Yeah, so I can't even choose my team. I really don't know. I got the Raiders in that one. For 2 seconds, I thought about choosing the Eagles, and I said, hell no. Darren Waller's on the other side. Field day. Does not matter. So Lions, Rams. Jared Goff in that one. But I have the Rams too. You just know Matthew Stafford's going to give it to them the whole time.
Yeah.
For every single year they mistreated him.
Yeah.
Texas Cardinals. This is a tough game.
Cardinals by a lot.
Yeah. The Texans they did too much last year in this offseason. And Deshaun Watson wasn't even everything with it. He was a big part, but between all the shit that's just been going on down there, Houston in general, they're just on other things. But next one we got Bears and Bucks. So I have Bucks in this one, but
TB looks good, bro.
Yes.
Tom Brady looks good. Yeah.
He seems
to
keep getting better.
I just can't believe that.
Yeah. And for everyone out there that thinks he's drinking Gatorades and eating regular foods, he's not. I can promise you.
Yeah.
45-year-old is playing football with an IQ that way. And the biggest thing is, and I say this a lot, what helped him so much, and people were upset when it first happened, when he tore his ACL. That was probably one of the better things in life because it saved him a year. It helped him. It was his leg. He doesn't run, so he doesn't need a leg as much. Yes, planting is big, but throwing, his arm was still there. His mind was still sharp. And TB knows how to fall. This man will be the first one to tell you, as soon as I see someone coming, I'm falling. You're not touching me. I will just fall. Colts, 49ers.
I'm going with Colts.
So I have the 49ers in this one, but Carson Wentz stay healthy, and I will continue to appreciate you. Next one. And I'm going to make a decision on the fly about this one, but the Saints and the Seahawks. And you have Jameis Winston and Geno Smith. That's
oh, bro, that's Monday Night Football too.
Yes, I know.
Oh man, that sucks.
Where's
that? Seattle?
Seattle.
Oh yeah, I'm going with Seahawks. Yeah.
So I went with the Seahawks, but my big thing is I was like, damn, Geno, what he did last time. Let me go with the Saints. But I said, they don't got Drew Brees. They got Jameis Winston, and you never know what Jameis you're gonna get. First game, you saw a good Jameis. After that, it wasn't the same. So that's it when it comes to football and the picks. Just for everyone out there that does fantasy football, make sure you end up paying attention to the wide receivers that are out there. T.Y. Hilton has been doing pretty good. Carson Wentz seemed to target him a lot when he first started over there. Alex Collins might be the starting running back for the Seahawks. We have to see, depending on his injury. He did not play in overtime in the game, which was something that I did pay attention to because DJ Dallas did get most of the work in that game. DK Metcalf, you need to definitely hold on to the ball next time, no matter what anybody says. Just go out of bounds. But pay attention to them. Elijah Mitchell is back for the 49ers as well. For anyone out there that's looking for another running back out there. And if you want a streamer pick when it comes to wide receivers, look at Rashad Bateman. You have to think that they're going to throw to somebody else outside of Mark Andrews. I can't promise anything with it, but it's something that
might as well, right?
Yeah,
might as well.
We'll move into something that happened yesterday, and it's a big time of the year because we got NBA back. But before we start with that Bucks ring looks clean.
Oh, dude. That shit is so big.
It is.
The audacity of them to, bro, it looks like, so I have a silver dollar right here, and I have my AirPods charger. It looks like that's what it looks like.
What it looks like
on their fingers, and then that shit like opens up, and then like you have a QR code.
I saw that. That was
what the fuck, dude? What the fuck is that?
I saw that.
And then it becomes a necklace. Mm-hmm. What are we doing, dude? I can only imagine if the Lakers win the title this year, and the NBA loves the Lakers. It'll be their 18th banner, most championships passing the Celtics. I can only imagine what that shit is going to look like. Mm-hmm. It's going to like, you're going to be able to like press a button and it's going to like have like a hologram pop up of like fuck a QR code. You're just going to press it like, and you're just going to have a hologram of like LeBron, AD, whatever pop up, or like the Larry. Dude, it's going to be whoever wins next year. It's going to be crazy. But if the Lakers win it, it's going to be even crazier.
You can only go up. You know that's going to be one of the next parts. You're going to have a little charging port in the thing so it can charge, and you can push a button and it's going to go. But you know that has to be coming up sooner or later. Before we get into the new competition we're going to do, after looking at last night and just taking the time to look at the offseason, I want you to end up giving me your finals prediction, defensive player of the year, MVP, and sixth man. If you have a rookie of the year, you can let me know that.
Rookie of the year, I don't know when he's going to play, but I'm going Cade Cunningham. I'm going to go with my Pistons on that one. Finals, I'm going to go Lakers Heat.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not going with the Nets. I'll tell you why. I'm not going with the Bucks. I'm going to go with the Heat. Surprise pick, yes. Lakers, not a surprise pick. MVP, I'm going to go with LeBron. I think this is the last year he'll probably be able to get it. And he looked like he wanted it last night. Defensive player of the year. I really want to say Anthony Davis finally gets it, but that's tough. I'm going to say Rudy Gobert gets it again.
Okay.
Just because like it's so easy for him to get it. And I talked about it. Like, I think Giannis can also get it, but I think with Giannis, it's going to be one or the other this year. I think he's either going to get the MVP or he's going to get defensive player of the year. Sixth man, I'm going to go Jordan Clarkson again.
Okay.
I think like he's one of those guys who can come off and easily average 18, a la Jamal Crawford type of thing.
Yeah.
Is that it? I covered all. Champs, I'm gonna go. I love to say this. I'm gonna go Lakers in 4. Love it.
I'm gonna roll through mine, and this is why I always appreciate and enjoy talking to Steven and doing these type of things with Steven, because we might agree on a decent amount of things that are common sense, but when it comes to analyzing things, we're in two different worlds. Because when the only thing we're similar on So the finals, I have Lakers Nets. I think it's going to be one of those, oh my gosh, Kyrie's playing, or like Kyrie's about to end up not playing and they make it there. And it's like some big thing. But I think the Lakers are going to be there on the other side just because they didn't make it last year. And I was going back and forth between like the Lakers and the Jazz. I don't think the Clippers are going to do it, but I end up going with the Lakers. I think the Golden State Warriors, there's a caveat and an asterisk because I don't know what Klay Thompson we're going to get. And Klay Thompson can shoot the lights out with anybody that's out there. All the NBA and Golden State Warriors need are just those two players. Curry, Klay. You can put anybody else around them, just rebound. But you can just let them shoot the whole time. Defensive Player of the Year, Clint Capella. And
I'll give you that. I'll give you that one. That's fair.
And I say this because one, he was the person that a lot of people didn't necessarily pay attention to when the Hawks were winning. They paid attention a lot to Trae Young. Trae Young's not blocking nobody. Trae Young's not like getting the rebounds. Trae Young's not in the middle. And I was going with someone different because I did look back and it's always been Gobert. It's always been Giannis. It's been Kawhi at the moment. And I'm like, who knows? Maybe if the Hawks are good, Clint Capella might get it. MVP, I'm still going back and forth, but I think it's either Luka or KD. Those are the two that I've been thinking about. Luka, just because triple doubles. KD, it's been a minute since we've seen like that true KD, and KD gets to finally take over this team because we don't know what's going to happen with Kyrie. And James Harden and KD just have this bond that James Harden or KD never really had with Russell Westbrook. And it seems as though KD wants to take that next step to win, to finally prove to people he can do it. And this would be like a good time to do it. The next one, Rookie of the Year, I have Jalen Green. I kind of just pulled that out of a hat. So,
I mean, it was
just one of those. I don't really ever know. The 1 year that it was kind of a toss up was when it was
Anthony Bennett.
Yeah, Anthony Bennett and LaMelo.
No, Anthony.
Oh, no, that's
Anthony Bennett from the Cavs.
No, not
all right. I'll give that
one. No, and then Sixth Man, Mr. just came out with a documentary. I'm going with Tyler Hero.
Wow. Okay.
So that's just like we always say with Rookie of the Year and Sixth Man. It's kind of almost like, all right, let's guess. Nobody really knows because if an injury happens in week 2 or like the second week of the season, Tyler Hero's starting, Jordan Clarkson's starting. So who really knows? But the big thing I wanted to end up bringing up is Steven and I came up with, Steven came up with the competition and challenge, and I kind of just like added my 2 cents to it. So what are the rules that we're going by with this?
All right. So I literally thought of this randomly watching NBA last night. I don't do fantasy basketball. Never have, never will. I only do. It's too much to keep up with right now. Only do fantasy football, but I came up with just something that you and I can do. We'll keep up with it on the show and everything. So we'll do our own fantasy basketball. You pick a starting 5. You can't pick any 2 players from the same team. You pick 2 bench guys, but they cannot be all-star guys from last year. And then you pick 2 teams from both conference, 1 playoff team, 1 non-playoff team. And then we'll do, I forget what we decided on, how we decide the winner was the point total from the starting 5.
Yeah, starting 5, and then also the bench.
The two bench guys. Mm-hmm. So, and we'll update the team's win-loss, the 2 teams that we picked as every 2 weeks or so, announce on the show. And we might throw in different things throughout the year just to kind of make things fun. And, we'll add in points and, do all this kind of good stuff. But I literally thought of this on the fly. So we'll see how it goes. But I'll give you my team. And I told Christian to not like pick the obvious, like don't make your starting 5 Steph Curry, James Harden, LeBron, KD, and Giannis. Don't do that. So I try to mix it up. Obviously I picked like big names, but that kind of is what it is, right? So I went with Luka as my point guard.
Okay.
I went with Jason Tatum as my 2 guard.
He been looking good this summer.
Yeah. I put LeBron obviously as my small forward. I mean, I picked Julius Randle as my power forward.
Okay.
And I think this guy can end up being the most improved player in the league. I don't know if he can fit that category because people know how good he is or how good he can be, but based on what he's done recently, Kristaps Porzingis as my center.
Whoa.
Okay, and then my two bench guys. I mentioned him before as my sixth man. I'm going Jordan Clarkson because my guy can drop buckets. You picked him. I knew you would. I knew you would pick him. I knew you'd pick him. I knew you'd pick him. And then my other bench guy, if you want me to, I can pick somebody else. But
No.
My other bench guy, and there's zero chance that if you pick this guy, I will Venmo you $5 right now. Andre Drummond.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. We're good.
So
We're good.
okay, so I picked Drummond because I'm a big Andre Drummond guy. First of all, because shout out to the Pistons. But he's going to come in for Joel Embiid with the Sixers, and they're not going to run plays through him, but he's going to get those lobs. He's going to have those 20, 25 point nights, and that's going to be what he is. We all know what he is. Now, he's not going to make his free throws. He's not going to make jumpers. He's not going to make shots. All he can do is dunk the ball. But he gets a lot of lobs, gets a lot of those pick and rolls, and he might get like a couple post plays, and he might get like 6 or 8 points out of that. But he'll probably be like a 15 to 18 point guy. Like I said, he might have one of those 20, 25 point nights every now and then if Embiid is struggling, or they're not going to have Ben Simmons, obviously, who put his house on the market, by the way, for almost $5 million. Nice house, but that's my starting five and my two bench guys. My two teams from the East, I picked the Heat because I picked them to go to the finals, and of course, I'm going to Pistons. Duh.
Okay.
From the West, I picked the Mavs. Did you pick the Mavs?
No.
Good. And I picked the Timberwolves.
Okay.
So I think the Timberwolves have to be good at some point, right? Like they have to be good at some point. They are they winning? Yeah. They're up 92-61 on the Rockets. Rockets suck. But they're up 92-61. Karl-Anthony Towns is 27-10. But those are my teams. Luka, Jason Tatum, LeBron, Julius Randle, Porzingis, Jordan Clarkson, Andre Drummond off the bench. And my teams are the Heat and the Pistons from the East. And I got the Mavs and the T-Wolves from the West.
So before I start mine,
yep,
I used to always follow everything Philadelphia 76ers, fell off for a little bit. But this whole Ben Simmons thing, ever since last year, it's become one of those must-watch TV to see what the hell is going on. Yeah, bad. So when Ben Simmons first got to Philadelphia, and it was like him and Joel Embiid at the height of everything, I used to go to the Eagles games. I try to go every year. So I remember when they would always come to the Eagles games, they would be like in the boxes, some down low. So I was like, oh, that's cool. It seems like they're cool. Hell no. Joel Embiid don't care for that man. And then if you look at practices and everything, Benson was like, all right, whatever, I'll come to the facility. This man does not care. Like he wants to be the first one out of there. And it's just such a bad vibe. And it makes sense why they said conduct detrimental to the team. I'm not going to have him around the team if that's what's going to happen. But my thing is, my guy, you got to be able to shoot. If you're going to act like this, you can't just be a one-trick pony of driving and passing. They found you out. Giannis said, y'all are not going to play me anymore. Like, I'm going to develop some sort of jump shot and do something like that. So that's my only thing when it comes to
though, bro.
He did, yeah. It's a little scary. Like, this man has step back moves now. And I was like, I don't know how long it's going to last, but it did look good. But with my team, and if I need to make any edits, you can let me know. So I have Dame Dollar. I'll always end up having him. Devin Booker. So he's not at that same level. So he's a little bit steps down. Kevin Durant. So he's like on same as like LeBron.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid. And then I have Donovan Mitchell. So.
Okay. All right. I'll give you that.
The big thing is you're
just going straight points. You don't give a fuck. You're just going straight points. You're just going straight points. I mean, that's the name of the game, but you're just going straight points. Okay. That's fair. All right.
So I did this because I thought about an actual lineup in the sense of Kevin Durant can end up playing the small forward or the power forward. And then Donovan Mitchell, he might end up becoming your point guard. because Devin Booker and Dame Dollar will both look for like the shot. Dame Dollar will want to shoot, but Dame Dollar can bring the ball up too. So that's why I was going with them.
So, all right. So you got Dame, you got Booker, you got Donovan Mitchell, KD, and Joel Embiid. Who's the three on that team?
Kevin Durant. If not Kevin Durant, Kevin Durant. He'll play either one.
Oh my God.
Donovan Mitchell. So I have Donovan Mitchell that'll probably be the three, regardless, because Dame Dollar and Devin Booker aren't the biggest.
Isn't Donovan Mitchell a point guard?
Yes, he's gonna play small forward.
All right.
So
all right. You're all right. You're fine. You're locked in. Whatever.
Then to my bench, I have Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah.
And Tim Hardaway Jr.
Okay.
So that's why I was like, if this man chose Tim Hardaway Jr., there's no goddamn way.
Yeah.
Like we can both have the same. So for the East, I have the Bulls because I have been liking what I see from Alex Caruso. People did not realize he was more than just a meme out there.
The Caruso.
Yeah. Then DeMar DeRozan's out there, Lonzo Ball, and don't sleep on Zach LaVine. He was in like the top 15 in points per game.
Yeah, they beat my Pistons tonight. Zach LaVine had 34, 7, and 4.
Yeah. So that was a big thing with the Bulls. I thought about honestly putting Zach LaVine in my top 5, but I was like, they got too many of them.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know who's going to score. DeMar DeRozan's going to get his buckets. Then on the West, the Kings got some problems, but they're another team. They got to be good sometime.
Wait, you got the Bulls and the who?
The Nets.
Bulls and the Nets? Wait.
Yeah.
Bulls and didn't the Nets make the playoffs last year?
You said one in and one out.
Oh, the Bulls made the playoffs. Yeah, okay. My fault. Yeah.
Ooh, I was like,
my fault. My fault, bro.
So Bulls and the Nets. Then on the West, I have the Kings. But this whole Marvin Bagley situation, I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, I don't really know. They have a lot of players that are out there. They're in the Timberwolves bandwagon. They gotta be good sometime. Yeah. And I went between the Pelicans and the Kings, but then I said, I don't know when they're gonna have Zion. It's just he's Brandon Ingram.
My guy's 300 pounds, bro. Yeah. He's hefty.
A lot of weight. That is a lot. And then I have the Jazz. So
that's fair.
I have Kings and the Jazz, which is kind of like only reason why I did the Jazz. They're not going to be 1 or 2 like they were this year. I think it was one of those things of the Nuggets were feeling themselves. The Lakers were trying to figure things out. The Suns were just having a great year. And then the Lakers and Clippers, I think those two will be up there in it again. And then the Mavericks will be up there. So I think the Jazz will take a step back. I try not to go with someone that is 1 or 2. And I was like, the Jazz probably aren't going to be that way moving forward. So that's it. I'll end up making sure to keep record of all this as we move through the season and everything. Again, with the players, it does seem like everyone's straight scoring, but it's just Joel Embiid. I don't know what's going to happen there.
That's the name of the game. I still don't know who's going to play the 3 on that team, but whatever. Whatever. You just completely bent the rules, but whatever, dude. This is my game, and you just fucking took over. We'll talk about that. But anyway.
Devin Booker will play the small forward.
Yeah, okay. All right. Whatever. Just keep going, dude. I don't talk about it anymore.
But so that's everything for the show today. What you got for everyone out there?
Shout out to Penn State football recruiting. Quarterback coming in next year, Drew Allar, is killing it right now in high school, a senior year. He's got like bajillion yards, bajillion touchdowns. His team's 7-0. Awesome. Was just ranked on 24/7 Sports as he got a 5th star. And I know the stars, and you obviously know this as well. It doesn't mean anything. Your rating doesn't mean anything until you get there and actually do it, obviously. But it's good to see. Got his 5th star, number 1 quarterback in the country, number 12 overall prospect in the country for 2022. So we're going to lose our starter this year, Sean Clifford. I would assume is leaving. He's a senior, but since last year didn't count, he still has that 1 year of eligibility. And then your boy Taquan Roberson's our backup, but we got the next guy coming in. And if you haven't watched him, which nobody has, obviously, go watch him. Drew Allard. He's the next Josh Allen. It's my hot take for the day. So Penn State football recruiting on the come up. Here we go. Got number 3 class in the country. Number 2 by some rankings. Quick Slants tomorrow night, 8:00. Look out. Check your local listings for that one. And yeah, that's what I got.
So I have an official announcement, and I will put this on record and say I have made a decision to change to make the rules more fair within the game. And I have a new starting five. And the new starting five is Damian Lillard, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Joel Embiid, and Jimmy Buckets. And he is a small forward.
Okay. All right. So I just bullied you into doing that within 5 minutes.
Because I thought about it, I was like, damn, that really wasn't in the rules. They are all like point guards and shooting guards. I tried to think we could go small ball.
Yeah, no, you're the worst.
But yeah, so that's it for that. What I will end up saying is shout out Bitcoin at 67,000, which was a big thing. We'll end up coming back next week. Make sure to check out Quick Slants when it does come out. Check out college football and the NFL. I will say Alabama's coming back for the number one spot. They don't like losing. So pay attention to them on that one. Georgia's going to be doing what they do. But with everything else, that's it. Luxo fam. Yes.
Shout out to Lane Kiffin. Just for being Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
Shout out. Love him.
Yeah. Lane Kiffin is Lane Kiffin out there.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, we out. I'll catch you next time.
Peace.